happy to be here today with, from KBC side, a very simple story. We're not producing cars, we're not a high-tech company, but payments today there is a link with high-tech, if I may say so. But I believe that MasterCard and the LAN will give you more details on that one. Why did KBC move into contactless payments? So that's what I will illustrate in a few minutes for you today. We strongly believe that and there is an evolution in payments, but first I will give you a bit of history. I looked up when we stopped Proton. For me it seemed already a very long time ago. But it was only in December 2014 we took it out of the market. It was end of life. Why was it used? For people who are not from Belgium. It was a domestic scheme, so we needed to evolve to a new open system. So we couldn't support Proton anymore. But it was used by the smaller merchants for people in their shops who did not have enough cash. It wasn't even promoted as a payment means. It was just as a sort of backup for the people who didn't have enough cash to pay the bread, to pay at the butchers, etc. And it seems a simple problem, but it isn't. Belgians were really used to paying with Proton, and the smaller merchants said, it's a very cheap payment means, so you have to look into how you will replace it, because otherwise they will move into cash again. Now, when I was in the car this morning driving to this place, to Antwerp, I heard the stories about how expensive cash is in the market and how the government should intervene in order to decrease the cash in the market. But I can tell you, it's not an obvious story. Belgians still like cash very much. And I have some figures also to show you. As you see here, so the cash transactions are the blue line, but it goes down to 2020. We are here. We're in 2015, 2016. So you could say, and that was also what they said this morning on the radio, there is still 50% of the transactions in Belgium which are done by cash. That's huge. That's a huge amount. The non-cash transactions are evolving too, but it's moving really, really slowly in Belgium. So we should look into means for the consumer and the merchants to change their habits. Some other figures. There is less cash, but each Belgian citizen still picks up 29 times a year cash at an ATM. From a personal point of view, I think that's not that much, because I pick up cash even more than twice a month. But if you look at the total population, it's a lot. On average, we pick up more than 3,900 euro per year, and more than 80% of the purchases are still paid with cash if it's less than 20 euros. So we still have a lot of work to do in Belgium. If you look at the figures, we see that Belgium is not it's not a top priority. It hasn't been a top priority in Belgium, and there's a huge contradiction with, for example, the Scandinavian countries. So we see that Germany is not the best in class either. Then it's followed by Belgium, then the United Kingdom. The Netherlands, it's blue line. The Netherlands is doing much better than Belgium. For example, contactless cards were issued a long time ago. I think that MasterCard can testify that for the Maestro transactions. And I believe around 50% is already contactless enabled in the Dutch market. That's not the case in Belgium. And then you have Poland and then Sweden and even France. But in France they still pay with checks also, so I guess that's not included here. You could also say, why still contactless cards? Why do we still invest in contactless cards? Because cards will not disappear in the coming years. That's like we thought that cash would disappear. Cash didn't disappear. Cards will not disappear. We will put our card number in our mobile, etc. But the plastic will not disappear in the next coming years. Not totally, anyhow. We do see a shift into mobile payment methods in Belgium, a very important shift. So these are only the figures of 2015. I haven't seen those for 2016 yet, but if I look at KBC's figures, there will be a double increase. That's what we feel is happening in the market. But also there, it's not obvious. We are launching digital campaigns in our bank, even for our own personnel. So we believe we have a very good mobile banking application. We also developed mobile-based solutions, but mainly not in shop, so in e-commerce. That it's going more smoothly because people are in their own living room and they want to pay. They don't want to use their card anymore. They pay via mobile. That's easier to get used to. But anyhow, it's a very, very difficult process. So that's why we said, okay, we will move into contactless anyhow, and we will issue contactless cards. Because the customer wants convenience, but you can also say that, of course, for mobile payments. They want faster payments, but they still want the feeling that it's a secure payment. Because when we launched contactless, the first question we had was, and fraud. And there is a high risk of fraud when you're using contactless payments. That's not the case. If we see the use cases in other countries, such as, for example, in the Czech Republic, we have a daughter company in the Czech Republic who has issued contactless cards for a long time, I think 2 to 3 years. They don't have a list of serious fraud cases for contactless payments. They don't. But customers feel it gives a strange feeling. You just put your card next to the terminal and it's paid. Merchants, they want a faster checkout. They want a higher cashier efficiency. It has to move on quickly. Reduce cost of cash handling, of course, and also easy access to value-added services for their customers. So it has to move on quickly. We issued our contactless cards in 2015. We plan to issue credit cards, so it's only for debit cards we did that move. We plan to do it for our credit cards also, so all the plastic issued by KBC will then be contactless enabled. And of course we are also looking, as I mentioned, we're looking to moving into mobile NFC, but the in-shop applications are not ready yet today. But of course we're developing it also together with MasterCard and the other schemes present in the Belgian markets. The move towards contactless, where are we today? We didn't convert all our cards altogether because, to be honest, that's a huge cost. So we decided to change the card into a contactless card whenever the card was lost or whenever a new card was issued. And so gradually we did that, and we see now that we will be at 50% of our cards, debit cards, by the end of 2016, which represents more or less 1 million cards. Now the move into contactless on the merchant side is a very, very slow process. And so it's not high tech, it's very simple, but you see that even the cashier, she says, oh, what are you doing? You're paying with a contactless card, this won't work on my terminal. So the education process is very important. Education of the payer and of the cashier is very important, and it's a simple product. But we strongly believe that if they get used to it, then the adoption to the mobile payments and the mobile NFC payments will go more smoothly. That's what we hope. Well, I believe that's my part of the presentation. So I told you I will win some time. It's a very simple story, but even if it's a simple story, it's not obvious to get the adoption in the market. Thank you.